Avatar: The Way of Water is the most beautifully rendered narrative car crash you will probably ever see. The best analogy I can think of for this movie is that it's like a Lamborghini with the engine from one of those scooters morbidly obese people ride. Is it transcendently beautiful and hyper-realistic? Absolutely. Is it going to make billions of dollars?
Hell yeah, nigga.
Is it good? So how did James Cameron take the most gifted CGI artists in the world, spend $500 million, invent whole new technologies, and take 13 motherfucking years to make something that seems to have been written in a week?
Let's get it done.
I think the trouble with Avatar: The Way of Water is that it shows what happens when CGI finally crosses the uncanny valley. Let me explain. Take a look at this flawless CGI clip of someone washing dishes. Take in the foam physics and the immaculate lighting. Psych, I'm lying, that's just a real dude washing dishes and it's exactly as boring as you originally assumed. But what if it was CG? Does it make it any less boring? And that's exactly what watching Avatar: The Way of Water is like. Since it looks completely real, your brain stops registering the artistry behind it, and you just end up focused on the story, which unfortunately sucks. James Cameron seems to be the latest in a long line of directors to have gotten so iconic that there's no one left to point out to him that his story is ass. I'm a huge fan of Cameron's work, and I even enjoyed the first Avatar, but this time there wasn't a single moment of real tension or catharsis for me. None of Cameron's films stand out as emotional odysseys, but they're always simple and well executed. I legit cried as a kid when Arnold is going into the lava in T2. No tears this time, that's for damn sure. Basically, if you're a huge fan of CGI and aesthetic images, this film will probably blow you away. But if you're expecting anything at all in terms of interesting plot or characters or even really creative action, this probably isn't the movie for you. My one gripe with the visuals in this movie was the absurd choice to keep switching from 24 FPS to 48 FPS and back in the middle of a scene from shot to shot.
Just breathe. Breathe.
It was like a bad acid trip. Am I alone here? I literally couldn't focus on the movie at all. Fellow gamers, help me out here. Didn't it look like half the movie was lagging or something? Anyway, now it's time for us to venture into the fetid underbelly of this whole affair. The actual story.
Let's do it.
Warning! From here on out, it's Spoiler City. Avatar: The Way of Water opens with Jake, the most forgettable protagonist in movie history, who's now shacked up with Neytiri and has a gaggle of kids. Then evil white dudes show back up and the movie totally resets everything that happened in the first one. It's like the humans never even left and that whole war was totally pointless. Eventually, Jake and his kids decide it's time to start some shit and derail one of the human cargo trains. The humans obviously take issue with this. They revive the bad guy from the last movie by downloading his memories into a new avatar and tell him he's gotta go do an apocalypse now on Jake and murder him so that they can... I don't know, I honestly have no idea why Jake matters. The bad guy space colonel dude decides he actually would like to get even for what Jake did to him in the last movie, so he takes the mission. Rednecks will be rednecks, I guess. Immediately, and by total coincidence, Space Colonel and his skinhead marines run into Jake's kids and take them hostage. Jake and Neytiri rescue most of him, but the human kid, who looks like he definitely says bro a lot, who's actually the son of Space Colonel, gets taken. No rescue seems planned either. Fuck that kid, I guess. So Jake's family takes off for the beach and hides with the Water Tribe, who are naturally racist because even Ava, the global intellect of Pandora, can't solve racial conflict. Meanwhile, Space Colonel convinces his son to help him track down Jake's family. Why the human boy agrees to go along with this, who the hell knows?
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. What?
Back in the racist village, the chief's son decides to just dispense with any preliminary racial prejudices and instantly tries to kill one of Jake's kids by stranding him in the middle of the ocean to be eaten by space sharks. But that's okay because in a stunning Deus Ex Machina, a space whale rescues Jake's kid from a space shark for literally no reason. Why the whale decided that the shark's life is worth less than a Na'vi life, I cannot say. I guess space whales are just militant vegans or something. Jake's son then removes a space harpoon that's jammed in the space whale's fin, eternally earning its space loyalty. Also, just a couple of scenes later, the whale speaks perfect English and Jake's son can understand him perfectly.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes! Then you know what I'm saying.
This whole sequence blew my mind. All they had to do was have the kid help the whale before it saves him. Instead, they do the payoff first and then do the setup. 13 years of production, and no one seems to have pointed that out to James Cameron. Meanwhile, Space Colonel has teamed up with a cosmic Captain Ahab to track down Jake. Along the way, they engage in some pointless cruelty and murder some space whales to make sure the audience understands that these bad guys are actually bad. Just like the first movie with unobtainium, Cameron invents a MacGuffin the humans are after. This time it's Amarita, the delicious brain juice of the whales that grants humans immortality. For people outside India, I should mention both Avatar and Amarita are words from Hindu mythology. Amarita, or Amrit, is the drink that keeps the gods immortal, which is also interestingly acquired by churning the seas. The Space Colonel can't seem to pinpoint Jake's location, guess their future tech isn't quite as advanced as the Find My Phone app, so their plan is to start murdering whales and just hope Jake shows up. Also, why the fuck are the humans still looking for Jake? He isn't even Toruk Makto or whatever anymore. Who cares? Either way, turns out their plan was brilliant since they once again bump into Jake's kids and take them hostage. Again.
Oh, deja vu.
What did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu.
What did you see? What happened?
I thought I saw a kidnapping scene.
And then another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same?
Kidnapping scene?
Might have been, I'm not sure.
Switch, APOC.
What is it?
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens
When James Cameron writes a script. 13 years in the making, folks. Then, finally, the last hour of the movie is Jake finally rallying the water people to fight back against the white man. Now that he's actually got something to lose, Jake just comes off as such a little bitch. Shame they also totally sideline Neytiri. Zoe Saldana still delivers a great performance, but has basically nothing to do until the very end. Anyway, Jake and the Na'vi attack the Space Colonel and Space Captain Ahab's boat. Jake's son's whale buddy shows up to help, and they kill all the goons until Jake and Neytiri are pretty much 1v1 against the Colonel. Oh, and one of Jake's kids dies. Guess that's sort of important. I don't care, I literally can't even remember his name. All the Water Tribe guys have also mysteriously disappeared by this point. I have no idea why. It doesn't really matter since Jake and his family seem to have it covered. Space Colonel puts a knife to Jake's daughter's throat to get him to surrender, except Neytiri decides fuck this shit and takes Space Colonel's son hostage in a hostage Mexican standoff. Then Jake and Space Colonel duke it out in a battle of CGI bodies in a ring of CGI fire as their CGI space boat sinks. For a second, I thought they might kill Jake off, which I would have loved. But his daughter uses space magic to give them gillyweed powers and they swim to the surface unscathed. So it's a happy ending, yay! I didn't feel anything. Somehow, despite how far CGI has come in the past decade, I gotta admit James Cameron still created a technological landmark. Just like he did with Avatar 1, like he did with Titanic, like he did with Terminator 30 years ago. But I'm really hoping that going forward, James Cameron might devote more attention to the actual story and dialogue in the movie instead of trying to create another CGI spectacle. You had 13 years, Cameron. If there had been a single character to latch onto, or a single dramatic moment in the film, or even just some good jokes, anything, I think Avatar: The Way of Water could have been one of the greatest films of all time. The caliber of craftsmanship on display is second to none, yet the film fails to challenge or provoke audiences on any level, and that is obviously by design. Cameron makes blockbuster movies meant to appeal to the broadest demographics, so any rough edges, anything, even remotely controversial or risque has been sedated and nerfed. It makes for an experience more numbing than a Marvel product, and that is saying something. Is that what people really want? I mean, are we genuinely in an era where catharsis is to be discarded for a spectacle, a pointless light show? For me, I think I'm done with the movie theater experience. It's frustrating and devoid of emotion and endlessly disappointing. Oh, and 3D movies can suck my fucking dick. Seriously, I want to shit on the grave of the asshole that invented the 3D movie scam. Fuck you, burn in hell. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Did the frame rate shit bother you too? Did you feel anything? I actually really want to know, because this movie's probably gonna make billions of dollars and that makes me feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind.
I know you think I'm crazy.
Anyway, that's my rant on Avatar: The Way of Water. See you in the next one.